Hello to all BetDriver program users. In this video, we will demonstrate the operation of the emulation mode in BetDriver using football, greyhound racing, and horse racing as an example. The emulation mode allows you to test the functions and settings of the program, test various methods and trading scenarios in practice, run auto strategies using any parameters. At the same time, real bets are not placed on the exchange. There is no risk for your money. You will use an unlimited virtual balance. Emulation mode can be enabled in the Settings tab in the main program window. When the emulation mode is enabled, a corresponding inscription appears in the title. Now the program works in the emulation mode, that is, it does not place real bets on the exchange. For demonstration, we have prepared 3 auto strategies with different settings. Football emulator is based on the basic auto-bets auto strategy. Greyhounds emulator and horses emulator are based on the basic auto-bookmaker auto strategy. The statistics section in each auto strategy is still empty. During the demonstration, we will check what data the program writes here. First, let's demonstrate the emulation mode using football as an example. We trade on the over/under 2.5 goals market. For its operation, we need a basic auto-bet strategy. We shall note that the settings in this and other examples are not recommended. At some stage, a strategy with such settings may turn out to be unprofitable. This is the reason why we need the emulation mode. It allows us to test any trading strategy at any period of time in conditions that are as close as possible to real ones. At the same time, the real deposit remains safe. The following settings are selected for the strategy. We choose a sport, soccer. Leave the countries and competitions gaps empty. Although the selection of countries and championships is very important for this strategy. However, we will leave these parameters at their default values for our demonstration. Market types over, under 2.5 goals. Check with the in-play support checkbox. The search period is 10 minutes. The program will search for the markets that will enter the in-play in 10 minutes. The maximum number of markets is 5. The selection will display the 5 closest matches. The program will place bets on them. The rest of the parameters in this section are left by default. Go to the betting filters section. The back overround range will be from 100 to 130. We will only bet on the selection of under 2.5 goals. Therefore, we need a selection that comes first in the market. If we leave 0, then the program will place bets on both selections. Therefore, we indicate the number 1 in the selection number gap. Now the program will place bets only on the selection under 2.5 goals. Base odd calculation algorithm. Consider the current opposite odds as basic. The program will consider the current opposite odds in the market as base. The left odds are used for back bets, that is, available for back bets. The right odds are used for lay bets, that is, available for lay bets. Bet types, back. The bets amount is $5. The calculation is carried out in accordance with the bet amount method. The stake will be equal to the amount that is indicated there. The margin from the base odd is -1 tick. The program will add 1 tick to the current odd, so the initial back bets will be placed 1 tick higher than the current opposite odds. The minimum bets odd is 1.8. The maximum bets odd is 3. The maximum number of bets on the selection is 1. The program will only place 1 initial back bet per selection. Unmatched bets will be transferred to in-play. We will place reverse bets. After each back bet, the program places a lay bet. It also remains in play. The margin for reverse lay bets is 3 ticks. We will close the markets. Closure type, by minute and by score in the match. Markets will close from 15th minute of the match. Closure attempts frequency, 10 seconds. The rest of the parameters are left by default. We launch the strategy. The program immediately finds 5 suitable markets and places an initial bet on them. We open the markets in order. In the first market, the back bet with a note of 2.22 has already been accepted. In the second market, the odd is below 1.8, so the program does not place a bet. In other markets, the back bets have already been matched, while the lay bets are still unmatched. In the third market, a back bet with a note of 2.42 was accepted, and the lay bet with a note of 2.36 was placed, means 3 ticks below. In the fourth market, a back bet with a note of 1.9 was accepted, and the lay bet with a note of 1.87 was placed, means 3 ticks below. There is another interesting point. During the emulation mode, the program matches the bet, considering that the bet has been accepted, taking into account the queue, same as the placing a real bet. Emulation trading mode is very close to real trading conditions. The program takes into account the queue and the amounts that actually pass through the market. The bet is accepted virtually, after a real bet could be accepted. This is especially important in tight markets where large amounts of money flow. However, we must bear in mind that the bet that will be placed during real operation mode can affect the market, while virtual ones cannot. Therefore, the results in real and virtual modes will always be slightly different. Both bets have already been accepted in the latter market. Back bet with a note of 2.46 and lay bet with a note of 2.4. The amount under all selections have color green. Depending on the result, we will receive a profit of 19 or 8 cents. Let's open the third market. Here, the lay bet has not yet been matched. However, the odd becomes lower and the bet should be matched in the nearest future. We may see that there is an amount of $180 in the queue in front of our bet. During the third minute of the match, the lay bet is matched. We get 8 or 19 cents depending on winning selection. In the fourth market, both bets were also matched. At the beginning of the match, the lay bet with a note of 1.87 was matched. Our profit from this market will be 5 or 11 cents. We open the first market. It is the only one where the lay bet has not been yet accepted. Let's wait until the odd will become lower. This happens at the 6th minute of the match. Our profit will be 9 or 20 cents. Thus, we made a profit at all markets where bets were placed. We enter the statistics section. Data will appear only after the market's closure. In emulation mode, data is not displayed from non-closed markets. In our case, the market will close after the end of the match or after 3 scored goals. After the market's closure, we open the statistics and check the results. We return to the strategy. We see that the new markets have appeared on the list. This was due to the fact that some markets closed earlier, as 3 goals were scored during the match. Let's go to the strategy settings and indicate 1 in the maximum markets number column. For now, new markets will not be added to the selection until all previous markets are closed. In the markets number 2 and 3, which appeared during our absence, both bets have already been accepted. In the second market, a back bet with a note of 2.32 and a lay bet with a note of 2.26 were accepted. Our profit will be 9 or 19 cents. In the fourth market, a back bet with a note of 2.28 is accepted. A lay bet is placed with a note of 2.22. For now, let's move on to statistics. There were data for 3 markets. The calculated result is 32 cents. The actual result is 24 cents. Another market has been suspended and will soon appear in the statistics. The fourth market has appeared in the statistics. The calculated result is now 45 cents. The actual result is 43 cents. The maximum deposit used during the strategy operation was $20. A total of 14 transactions were carried out. 2 transactions were carried out in each market, a bet and a lay bet. The program placed bets on 7 markets in total. 4 of them have already been closed, the other 3 still operate. Let's return to the market with an unmatched lay bet. The odd is gradually decreasing and has already reached 2.28. Lay bet must be accepted soon. During the 12th minute of the match, the lay bet with an odd of 2.22 is matched. Our profit will be 9 or 19 cents. Thus, both bets were matched in all 3 new markets. After this market's closure, they will also show up in the statistics. We will not wait for the markets to close and stop the strategy. Let's go to the history section. It records data on all markets that the program found while the strategy was running, regardless of whether we made bets on them or not. We see 8 markets in the list, including the one that the program found, but did not place bets on. Each market can be scrolled from beginning to end. You can see the change in the odds, the time of bets acceptance, the time of goals, the market's closure times. In this case, the market closed already at the 36th minute, since the match score was 1-2 by this time. The match ended with a draw, 1-1. Therefore, we can follow the entire match history from the minute of market appeared in the selection to the market closure after the final whistle. In the same way, you can view the history of each market. By default, it is stored for 14 days, but you are able to set any period. This was a demonstration of the program separation in emulation mode on the context of auto strategy for football. The second test will be carried out in the greyhound racing market with the help of auto bookmaker auto strategy. We will use the following settings: sports, greyhound racing, countries, United Kingdom. The market type is win. The search period is 10 minutes. The selection will include the markets where the race starts in the next 10 minutes. Maximum number of markets 0. There will be all suitable markets in selection, and trading on them will be carried out simultaneously. Base odd calculation algorithm. Consider the current market odds as basic. The back over round range will be from 100 to 130%. The initial lay bet's odds will be in the range from 4 to 12. The bet is calculated using the bet amount method and is $5. An amount of each bet will be the amount indicated in this gap. The margin from the base odd is -1 tick. This means that the program will subtract the specified number of ticks from the current odd. Since there is a minus here, 1 tick will be added. The initial lay bets are placed 1 tick higher than the current ones. It means that the program will outbid the current market odds. Initial lay bets placement frequency 5 seconds. We will place additional bets. The odd of additional lay bets is reduced by 3 ticks depending on the previous accepted lay bet odd. Trading mode is on. The back odd is increased by 3 ticks compared to the initial lay bet odd. The market's closure function is enabled 1 minute before the event start. The program will cancel all unmatched bets and place closing bets. The closure attempts frequency is 5 seconds. The rest of the parameters are left by default. We launch the Greyhound's emulator automatic strategy. The program finds 2 suitable markets. In the first market, there is only 1.5 minutes left before the event starts. The program will cancel unmatched bets and place closing bets 1 minute before the start. 6 bets have been matched and 8 bets have not been matched so far. All unmatched bets are cancelled. The program places closing bets. It is not possible to equalize the market and gain profit for all selections. Depending on the winner, we will end up with a loss of 68 or 77 cents. We close this market and move on to the next one. There are 6 minutes left before the event starts. Means that the program will place bets on the market for another 5 minutes. Ten bets have been matched so far. Another 7 have not been accepted. In the emulation mode, trading is the same as during the real trading. Virtual bets are placed and accepted taking into account the order. Trading is real time. The amounts under the selections change after matched bets. After a few seconds, unmatched bets will be cancelled. The program has equalized the results for all selections and we get a profit of $151 to $154. And a total of 31 bets were accepted in this market. We go to the next market. More than 9 minutes remain before the event starts. The program has already placed 3 lay bets. We will stop the strategy after the market closure. In the settings, we set 1 in the maximum markets number section, so that the new markets do not appear in the selections. The settings are applied immediately. For now, let's enter the statistics section. Here are the data for the 2 previous markets. The calculated result is 71 cents. The actual result is 74 cents. The loss we got in the first market was 69 cents. Let's go back to the market. In less than 2 minutes, the program will cancel unmatched bets and place closing bets. A few seconds before the closure, the number of matched bets is 15, and there are also 5 unmatched bets. Unmatched bets will be cancelled. Closing bets are accepted. The amounts under all selections are colored green. We get profit from $1.50 to $1.71, depending on the race winner. Let's wait until this market appears in the statistics to find out the test result. You may enter the history section if you would like to know how the trade went, how the odds changed, which bets were accepted and not accepted, at what time it happened. Here the history of all markets, which saves all the information about the results of real trading and trading in the emulation mode. In both cases, the tool works the same way. Therefore, it is not necessary to monitor the market in real time. Later you can see what happened there. You can also view charts for each selection at the time of the market start and at the time of the market closure. All information is available both in real trading mode and in emulation mode. A third market has appeared in the statistics. We stop the strategy and see the results. For the 3 markets, the calculated profit should have been $2.28, but the actual profit was $2.33. The actual fare is 21 cents. The maximum deposit use is $116. This is the amount that the program was using at the peak load time. The program performed 85 transactions during the strategy operation. A profit and a loss for the strategy are calculated only for closed markets. It is not possible to calculate data on open markets in the emulation mode. There may be different results depending on the selection. Therefore, it makes sense to test strategies only with complete closure. The program will summarize the results and show the actual value for each next market. The result can be checked in 10, 20, 100 markets or in a day. You can test any trading strategies at a distance without any risk. Let's move on to the test of the auto bookmaker strategy on the example of horse racing. We will use the following settings: sports, horse racing, countries, Ireland and United Kingdom. The market type is win. The search period is 5 minutes. Base odds calculation algorithm. Consider the current market odds as basic. The back over round range will be from 100 to 150%. The initial late bets odds will be in the range from 4 to 20. The initial bet is calculated using the payout method and is $10. This means that 10 is divided by the odd, and the indicated number is the real bet amount. The margin from the base odd is 15%. For the maximum number of bets on the selection, we will mention 10. It means that the maximum of 10 open late bets will be placed on one selection. Initial late bets placement frequency 5 seconds. We will place additional bets. The odd of additional late bets is reduced by 3 ticks, depending on the previous accepted late bet odd. Trading mode is enabled. Moreover, the back bet remains in the in-play. The back bet odds are increased by 10% over the initial late bet odds. Back bets will be placed within the spread, if possible. If the spread allows and the opposite back bet can be placed more than 10% higher, and it will be the first on the market, lower than the nearest competitive bet. Then the program will place bets within the spread. The market's closure function is enabled 20 seconds before the event starts. The program will only cancel unmatched lay bets. Back bets will be transferred to in-play. The closure attempts frequency is 5 seconds. The rest of the parameters are left by default. We launch the horses emulator strategy with these settings. We go to the first market. More than 4 minutes are left before the market is transferred to in-play. The program places an initial lay bet on all selections except the first one. The odds there are less than 4, and the minimum bet odd is 4 in our settings. On the fifth selection, the lay bet is matched with an odd of 20. The program places a lay bet on this selection with an odd of 17, means 15% lower than the accepted lay bet. The back bet is immediately placed with an odd of 22, means 10% higher than the initial bet. In the emulation mode, bets are placed taking into account the queue, same as in the previous strategies. If there are real amounts ahead of some selections or odds, then the bet is matched only during its turn. There is an amount of $34 before our back bet with a odd of 22. Now it has decreased to 29, which means that some bet or a part of the bet has already been accepted. Now 15, 13, 8, 1, and only now our virtual bet is accepted. Means trading in emulation mode is as close as possible to real trading. The only distinction is that the virtual bet does not affect the odds movement in the market. So, our virtual back bet is matched at the same time when the real back bet with these parameters should have been matched. We watch the trading and the market. Eight bets have already been matched and 9 bets remain unmatched. 20 seconds before the market transfer to in-play, the program cancels unmatched delay bets and leaves only back bets. During the race, the remaining back bets are matched. The amounts under all selections are colored green, and we get from 25 to 63 cents of profit, depending on the race winner. A total of 14 bets was accepted. A second market appears. We enter it. More than 4 minutes are left before the market is transferred to in-play. The program immediately places 11 lay bets. The first bet is matched with a note of 10, a back bet with a note of 11 plus 10%, and a lay bet with a odd of 9 minus 15% are placed. In the second market, trading is active. 20 bets have already been matched and 19 bets remain unmatched. There are 14 selections in this market, and there is no clear favorite with a low odd, so bets are placed on almost all selections. A total of 27 bets is matched. Only back bets remain before the market transfer to in-play. One back bet with a note of 11 remains unaccepted. During the trading process, the odd for the third selection has dropped significantly. We are waiting for it to increase again and our bet wins. The bet is accepted. The amounts under all selections are colored green. We get profit from $1.38 to $1.55, depending on the race winner. The fifth horse wins the race, so our profit is $1.55. A total of 34 bets was accepted. Let's open the Statistics tab. The first market has appeared here. The calculated result is 55 cents. The actual result is 56 cents. A third market appears. There are 5 bets accepted and 9 bets that are not accepted so far. There are 3 minutes left before the market transition to in-play. In the settings section, fill 1 in the maximum markets number gap. After this market closure, we will stop the strategy and summarize the testing results. "20 seconds before the market transfer to in-play, the program cancels unmatched lay bets. Shortly after the market transition to in-play, our back bet is accepted. The profit will be from 90 cents to $1.26. A total of 22 bets was accepted. Let's wait until this market closes completely. After that, we will stop the strategy and summarize the testing results. We stop the strategy and take a look at the statistics. After the 3 markets, the calculated profit is $2.82. The actual profit is $2.92. The maximum deposit use is $43.83. The statistics will be updated after we run the strategy again. As with other sports, the history of each horse racing market is available for viewing and analysis. We enter the appropriate section, open the necessary market, and look at all the events that took place on it. You can also view charts for each selection at the time of the market start and at the time of the market closure. So, we tested the emulation mode in 3 sports: football, greyhound racing, and horse racing, and explained how it works in BetDriver. We hope that you will find this video useful. We wish you a profitable trading with the BetDriver program.